I believe at this moment, the onboard computer of the launch vehicle has already in charge of everything.
Well, it looks like the orange arms are still connected right now.
It will rotate soon.
Oh, it's
you
happening
can see
right
that
now.
the Shenzhou 19 crew is watching the live coverage. Okay, all detached.
So the rocket is now completely on its own.
30 seconds.
seconds. 20 seconds to go.
Every system is go for launch.
10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Salute. It's over. It's over is to change the direction of the flight from vertical direction to the eastern route.
So it's a slight adjustment in the flight trajectory.
So beautiful.
And there it is, that's the Shenzhou 20.
So we can hear the voice of the ground station that the tracking is normal. And you can see this beautiful view of the launch vehicle.
How many adjustments would the rocket normally have to make in its trajectory on the way there? Is there a
Well,
set
you need to
calculation?
change its direction constantly, continuously. Okay, look, this is a camera mounted on the launch vehicle, looking backward.
Yeah, we're getting a really good view because it's daytime as well.
And also you can see 2 of the 4 rocket boosters,
That's right.
each with a diameter of 2.25 meters.
Those will be jettisoned a little bit later on in the flight.
Usually at about 120 seconds after liftoff.
I imagine the Shenzhou 19 crew are sitting there remembering, recalling
Look,
when they were lifting off.
You can
that
still
moment.
see the camera inside the cabin, but although the vibration and the G-forces are already acting on the bodies of the astronauts, but still they are very calm.
Yeah.
So the first critical step will be the jettisoning of the emergency escape tower.
So that's the one at the top.
Yeah. So several seconds later, it's close.
I mean, the 19 crew must also be excited that the 20 is coming to take over for them so that they can head home.
Prepare the dinner for them.
Yeah. Then only a few more days before they can head home themselves.
Okay, jettisoned.
That's the escape tower that's been
Escape
jettisoned.
tower has jettisoned because it's already high enough and the aerodynamic forces have already been a low level, not necessary to remain on the top.
At what point will these astronauts stop feeling the G-forces and the vibration?
Also, next
Now?
will be the separation of the 4 boosters.
Should be seeing that any moment, right?
You can see that although it's daytime, but the background you can see the sky is already black because this is already near the vacuum condition.
Oh, that's the
Okay, separated.
boosters. They all go at the same time, right?
Yeah, so you can see the 4 boosters form a cross. And also the first stage has already successfully separated from the launch vehicle. Now the second stage, the second cross stage has already been ignited.
And at this point, are the astronauts still feeling the G-forces? Or
Exactly,
they're
they
still...
can feel both the vibration because even outside the atmosphere, still the working of the rocket engines can form the vibration. So this is a camera mounted on the second stage. You can see that the Earth in the daytime is very bright.
Right.
So you can. This is a camera mounted in the payload fairing. You can see the solar panels in the folded condition.
And the solar panels are very...
several seconds we will see. Okay.
there it is.
Beautiful.
Jettisoned. And the solar panels are obviously the important
So
indicator here
at
for
this
the
moment,
success.
Mr. Chen Dong and Dr. Wang Jie can enjoy the view.
They're back to their manuals again.
So they changed to the different pages because it's in a different stage.
So What else is there to jettison now? So they've jettisoned the emergency tower, the emergency escape, the boosters, the payload.
First stage, and then the payload fairing. So the next step, that will last for many minutes, because that although the second stage of our Long March 2F launch vehicle only have one engine, it has one main engine and 4 vernier engines. The vernier engines, the thrust is very small, but it can change its directions to keep the right attitude. Look, this is a camera mounted on the rear part of the second stage of our Long March 2F launch vehicle. You can see the big nozzle is the main engine. We can hear the voice of the ground station that the flight is normal, and the ground stations can track the launch vehicle very normally.
Which is good to know.
Well, you can see one of the vernier engines, the smaller nozzle, you can see very clearly. So this is a camera mounted on the second stage.
Is it now more comfortable for the astronauts?
Not very comfortable,
Still
because
not.
that with less propellants, okay, you can see also still Dr. Wang Jie is still looking the menu.
Probably helps to calm the nerves as well.
So you may notice that this time from the Shenzhou spacecraft, we can see the high definition video from the inside.
Yes,
it follows the high definition standard, 1080 pixels solution.
And this has been an upgrade as well, right? For
Yes,
this
it's
particular mission.
upgraded.
Very bright.
Okay, the Qingdao ground station near the eastern coast of China has already captured the launch vehicle. So Qingdao is the last ground station
In China.
In mainland of China. So the next will be the space tracking ships. So you can have a very beautiful view of the very bright the Earth.
Yeah.
So in the daytime, and also the black sky, even in daytime.
So we've got images there on the right of the Shenzhou 19 crew on the Tiangong at the bottom, and then our Shenzhou 20 crew inside the capsule.
There is a very interesting thing before. That Mr. Jing Haipeng is also watching the live coverage of China Media Group, and your colleague say hello to him, and he can respond because he's watching the live coverage of CCTV.
So why is it that the solar panels, that's such an important indicator of a successful launch?
For the storage battery of Shenzhou Space, we only have a limited volume or capacity of the storage battery. So we need the solar panels to provide continuous power supply. So that is the reason we only announce the success of a launch mission when the solar panels is normally unfolded and extended to a very big one.
It means the continuous stable supply.
Yeah, exactly. So electricity is very important for flight mission. But after docking to the space station, so the power system can be combined together.
Right. And there's the Qingdao monitoring station
has
again.
already both the upstream link and the downstream link. So you can see the flame of the nozzles are quite different from those on the ground.
And the type of fuel that these rockets use, can you just tell us a little bit more about that again?
Well, that's the main engine of the second stage will work for a very long time, and it will shut down first. But this is not the end of the mission of the launch vehicle. So the 4 vernier engines, you can see the rotation of the vernier engine. The 4 vernier engines will work longer to adjust the trajectory, to make it precise enough. So they are laughing.
It's a good sign. And Professor Yang, so all these pieces of the rocket that's been shed, that would just fall back to Earth, and what will happen to them? Do they get retrieved again? Do they just get left?
No. Because that is the Long March 2F is not a reusable launch vehicle, but in the future, probably Long March 10 for the next generation spaceship will be a reusable one.
And that leads me to ask as well, because this time one of their important missions for important tasks for the 20 crew is to install that protective device against space debris, right? How big of a problem is space debris?
We've already met some problem. You know that the Tianhe module, the core module, Tianhe 1, have 2 solar panels. One of the panel was slightly damaged by the space debris. Actually speaking, the cables. So the Shenzhou 18 crew and the Shenzhou 19 crew has already do some attempts. So this problem has already been solved.
Okay.
So that's the reason why we need the protection.
Are we hearing another
the
ground station there?
The space tracking ships has already captured. You
We're
can
seeing
see
a
on the
simulation,
bottom
right?
we can see the 3D simulation. Oh, the main engine has already cut off.
Ah. Oh.
Burning engine also shut off.
So now the shuttle, the spacecraft is on its own.
Okay. So the Long March 2F Y20 launch vehicle has already accomplished its task. And
you can see the smiles on people's faces now at Jiuquan.
So at this moment, we will not only unfold the solar panels, but also we will release our antenna of the data relay system. Because you know that for high-speed transmission, we need a relatively big antenna for the to point accurately to our Tianlian data relay satellite. Tianlu is a data relay satellite.
And they're saying that everything is normal.
So the Shenzhou 19 crew is also watching the live coverage of CMG.
Yeah, so aside from that installation of that protective device, there's also mention of a robot that might be used up there with.
We can show a video also from CMG that Ms. Wang Haoze is test the small robot called maybe Xiaofei inside the cabin. Okay, the ground station also we heard the voice reporting the normal status. I just in the previous I noticed that Dr. Wang Jie is enjoying the microgravity with his pen.
So this robot, what would that be used for then? Will it be able to complete
to
any?
Be a digital assistant.
Okay. Would it be able to help with any of these more dangerous missions?
No,
like EVA.
That is inside the cabin. So not like the robotic arms outside the station. So they can make the work more simply and more easily, but not reduce the risk. You know that the robotic arm plays a very important role in the operation of a space station. Oh, the solar panels are unfolded. A really beautiful view from the, actually speaking, the propulsion module of our Shenzhou spacecraft. You know that the Shenzhou spacecraft have 3 modules: the orbital module, the re-entry capsule, and the propulsion module. So this is a camera mounted on the propulsion module, and it can monitor one of the solar panels.
And this is a very important.
Also, you know that we have 2 systems on the concerning about the Tianlian data relay satellite. One can transmit important critical parameters, and one can transmit very heavy data streams. So we need that's the reason why we need a big antenna for this Tianlian data relay satellite to transmit the videos.
We were just hearing earlier the ground staff there saying that the solar panels have opened
But I believe that the Shenzhou spacecraft will enter the shadow area very soon.
And what will that mean? What sort of
Which
impact
means
will that
that
have?
they will be at night.
Okay. So not much change for them. There's nothing to have to adjust or for the spacecraft to do. You're saying the solar panels have expanded.
But don't worry. We have plenty of energy in the storage batteries. So usually in the shadow area, the Shenzhou space only need to fly about less than 40 minutes.
Right.
So
That's
at
enough.
this moment, still we cannot announce the success of the launch. Only when we double check the accuracy of the orbital parameters of the Shenzhou spacecraft, only it's accurate enough, we can announce that it is a successful launch.
When you say accurate enough, meaning what exactly?
Means that the energy or the propellants inside the propulsion module of the Shenzhou space is good enough to catch up with the Tiangong space station and have the chance to correct all errors and dock with the Tiangong space station.
That should be pretty soon, right? Judging by the
Pretty soon, but we still need some. You know that there are different data sources. We have the measurements inside the Shenzhou spacecraft. Also, we have the data from the devices which can help with the help of the Beidou navigation satellites. We also have the ground stations like together with the space tracking ships to have different data sources. And finally, we can have a very accurate determination of the orbit of the Shenzhou 20. And with the analysis of the ground crew, we can finally make the decision or make the conclusion.
Yeah, just some more communication between the different We're hearing astronauts saying that they feel fine and everything is normal and functioning as expected. But from judging from previous experiences watching these launches, the time for all of this is very well controlled, right? I mean, it seems to be kind of pretty much always on the mark. It's like within half an hour of the launch, everything's declared a success. So it's controlled like down to the down to the second.
Although as I mentioned, all the several days before, but most critical ones should be a design. So it's not a coincidence that every time we have the right moment to do the right thing.
Yeah, it's incredibly precise. It's impressive.
You can see that
they're lifting
have opened their face masks.
Yeah.
So this means that the most dangerous part of this launch has already been successful, and they can be relaxed.
So now they're not feeling any of these forces or vibrations.
They are enjoying the microgravity.
Yeah.
深圳20号载人飞船已进入近地点高度200公里，远地点高度359公里。
So from now on, it will be about how many hours until they reach the Tiangong?
6.5 hours.
6.5 hours from now, from liftoff.
We just heard from the ground crew that the perigee or the nearest lowest point of the Shenzhou 20 is 200 kilometers. And the highest point or the apogee of the Shenzhou spacecraft is 359 kilometers.
以向各方向发出东风明白，华山。
So he's communicating again with all of those tracking stations.
So in our tradition before, the chief of the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center will announce the success.
长城
Very well controlled, literally down to the second. It's
As we discussed, the Shenzhou spacecraft is already a very practical one. And also we have experienced the team, not only the design and manufacturing test of the Shenzhou spacecraft, but also our launch site system.
北京明白，各号注意收听。
I think we're going to get that important message soon.
尊敬的各位领导、专家、同志们，根据火箭飞行数据及北京
Based on the flight data and calculations by Beijing Aerospace Control Center, the Long March 2F Y-20 carrier rocket has sent Chenzhou 20 manned spacecraft to the preset orbit. The solar panel has been unfolded and is functioning well. Now I declare the launch of Shenzhou 20 manned mission a complete success. Thank you.
We will see the big red screen.
I feel the need to applaud as well. And that message there just says congratulations to the Shenzhou 20 for successfully launching.